So hello everyone. Now as we are dealing with the computer assisted learning. So this is the second experiment which I will be discussing today. And this one is all about the vasomotor reversal of Dale, otherwise also called as Dale's vasomotor reversal. Now the name Dale's vasomotor reversal is uh, given because this phenomena was studied by Dale's, the scientist. So Dale's vasomotor reversal. Vasomotor, you all might be knowing only the vasomotor center. It adjusts the blood pressure. Okay. So when there is reversal of this phenomena, then it is called vasomotor reversal of Dale. We will see the details later on in the subsequent slides. So the thing is, we have this one graph. I'll be showing this graph again at the end of the class, where we can see the tracing. Okay, here we can see the tracing. Now this is the original recording on animal simulator LCV, and here this is the blood pressure recording. Marking is not given here. Marking I will show you in the next slide. So you give a drug A, you will find that there is increase in blood pressure. Then you find that there is decrease in the blood pressure in this phase, and then this is known as biphasic response because there are two phases in it. This is the first phase of the response, and this is the second phase of the response. Then next, coming upon to the normal tracing, normal blood pressure, and then you give one drug here, and then after some time of getting the normal tracing, you give another drug over here, and then you get a decreased blood pressure. There is a decreased blood pressure here. Okay, decreased blood pressure here, and this is single phase response. So in examination, you will be given the graph, and you may need to explain the graph. This will be written. So you need to explain the graph, you need to identify what the drug is, you need to explain the curves, this is because of what receptor and all. And if accompanying questions are given, then you need to answer those questions. So here basically what it is, here we are seeing the effect of adrenaline in presence of alpha blocker, So adrenaline, as we already know, we have already seen the effect yesterday's class, that adrenaline has a biphasic response. So when you give adrenaline here after sometimes of this normal tracing, normal BP, you get increased blood pressure, and this increase in blood pressure is because of the action on alpha and beta receptor, specifically alpha receptor mediated vasoconstriction. So as we already have discussed the different alpha and beta receptor, they are the adrenergic receptor, and their location and effect we have already seen. Again, we will be seeing it today. So increase in blood pressure you will see over here, and then it gives a peak effect, and then the concentration starts decreasing upon metabolism or giving the full effect, then decreases, and then when there is lesser of concentration, the action predominates on the beta receptor. When at higher concentration, the action is more on the alpha receptor, and then when at lower concentration, the action is mostly on the beta receptor, and specifically for beta 2 type of receptor, which are there in the blood vessels, causing vasodilation, and which causes a decrease in the blood pressure. So it is going down to the base. Okay, basal blood pressure is this one. So it is going down to the basal blood pressure, and so you can say that there is decrease in the blood pressure. Then coming and getting the normal tracing, normal blood pressure, and then here you are putting another drug. This drug is alpha blocker, phenoxybenzamine, phentolamine. We'll see the classification also little later. So here you say that you give alpha blocker, and then after some time you will give another drug which is same as that of A, which was epinephrine or adrenaline. So when you give adrenaline, still the effect of B is still there. That means alpha is blocked. So you get this graph because of the stimulation of alpha receptor. Now alpha is blocked because you are giving B here, alpha blocker. So this effect you will not get. So you will not see any increase in blood pressure. You will see only beta mediated action. So this is beta mediated action. You will not see increase in blood pressure. You will see only beta mediated action because only alpha is blocked. We have not given any beta blocker here. So you see there is inversion. There is inversion of the graph. That means only you will see the beta mediated, beta 2 mediated vasodilatation causing decrease in blood pressure. And this is known as vasomotor reversal of Dale or a reversal or Dale's vasomotor reversal. What happens usually is when you are in standing position, there is the pooling of the blood, but then pooling of the blood in the leg is contradicted. It is contradicted by the increase in vasomotor response. So there is not much decrease in blood pressure. But when alpha is blocked, when alpha is blocked, there is no vasoconstriction. Okay, there is no vasoconstriction. The sympathetic mediated vasoconstriction is not there, and you get the decrease in blood pressure. That means you are reversing the vasomotor response. So this is known as vasomotor reversal. So this is the graph which you need to make. This is the way how you'll be making it. So you see the blood pressure. We are only taking the blood pressure response. So here this is the basal blood pressure. You take a tracing here. At this point, you put epinephrine at the given dose, and you get a very phasic response. This phase is because of mainly alpha 1 receptor, beta 1 direct mediated action is also there. And then upon decreasing the concentration, you get the action mostly on the beta 2 receptor, which is there in the blood vessels. And our blood vessels and smooth vessels causing vasodilatation and leading to decrease in the blood pressure. Then the normal tracing is seen, and then you give alpha blocker, fenoxybenzaimine, phenethylamine, and here not both any of it, and but you need to give the non-selective one. And then here there is normal tracing, and then you give epinephrine here again. In presence of alpha blocker, there would be only decrease in blood pressure, no increase in blood pressure will be seen because alpha is already blocked due to alpha blocker. So decrease in blood pressure, and the blood pressure reaches up to 40. Okay? So this is known as vasomotor reversal. Reversal of vasomotor. Reversal of vasomotor is known as vasomotor reversal by alpha blocker. Now coming on to the discussion. Again, I will, after discussing the theoretical part of today's class, I will be showing again the same graph, and I will explain you. See, these all are the discussion. These all comes under discussion. So if you when you write in the record, you can refer here, or you can refer any of the book. But under these headings only, you need to write the discussion. So as we already know that adrenoceptors means the receptors on which the adrenergic drugs, adrenergic agonist or adrenergic neurotransmitter or adrenaline binds, they are known as adrenoceptors. And the adrenoceptors are alpha and beta adrenoceptors. And these alpha and beta adrenoceptors are GPCR receptor or G protein coupled receptor. And here we have alpha, and there are two types of alpha 1 and alpha 2. These are the type. There are other subtype also of alpha 1, alpha 1A, alpha 1D, B. Then alpha 2 is also there, and then subtypes are also there. Beta receptors, there are beta 1, beta 2, and beta 3. So the catecholamines. Why the catecholamines are named as catecholamine? Because it has a catechol nucleus. You will see, if you will see the structure of epinephrine or norepinephrine, the basic nucleus which you will see will be benzene ring with 2 hydroxyl group. This is known as catechol nucleus. And then with the catechol nucleus, and then the catecholamines acts on the different receptor. The 3 major catecholamines like epinephrine, norepinephrine, and isoprenaline. See, epinephrine acts on all the receptors, all the adrenergic receptors. That is alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, beta 2, and beta 3. Whereas norepinephrine do not act on beta 2, only this act on the alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, beta 3. See, whenever I am saying that a particular drug or agonist act on a particular receptor, that does not mean that it will not act or bind on any other receptor of the same group. It will bind, but the effect effect will be there uh, due to the binding with the main drug. Like if I am saying that norepinephrine do not bind with beta 2 receptor, that means it may bind, but the action due to beta 1, beta 3, alpha 1 and alpha 2 will be much more than beta 2. So there will be not marked effect on beta 2. That's why you can say that it does not act on beta 2 receptor. This is always a relative binding, not the absolute binding we talk about in the pharmacology. Next, coming to the location of alpha receptor and beta receptor. See, as I told, there are some different subtypes: alpha 1A, alpha 1B, alpha 1D, alpha 2A, alpha 2B, and alpha 2C. These are the post-synaptic. These are present on the post-synaptic effector organ alpha 1. The alpha 2, they are mostly present in presynaptic nerve or the post-junctional, where in the brain and pancreatic beta cell. So in the presynaptic nerve, it has the ability to inhibit the release of the adrenergic neurotransmitter. Function is smooth muscle vessel contraction will cause then glandular secretion, upon action on heart there would be arrhythmia, and then action is through GQ mediated IP3 DAG pathway. Whereas this alpha 2, it causes decrease in insulin release, pancreatic beta cells, then platelet aggregation, decrease in noradrenaline release. This is what I was talking about. When it is present presynaptically in the nerve, it will decreases the norepinephrine release or noradrenaline release. Okay. Smooth muscle and contraction it will cause, smooth muscle contraction it will cause, and same. And then this has inhibitory action, it will inhibit the adenylyl cyclase, and then action is through GI mediated pathway. GI mediated decrease in the cyclic AMP because of inhibition of adenylyl cyclase. Agonist of alpha 1 is phenylephrine and alpha 2 is clonidine. Antagonist is prazosin and antagonist for alpha 2 is zoamidine. Next, coming to the beta receptor. Beta 1, beta 2 and beta 3 receptors. Okay. So beta 1 and beta 2 are most important. Beta 3 are present in adipose tissue. They act by adenylyl cyclase, increase in adenylyl cyclase. In fact, all the beta receptor, they act through only one type, that is GS type, increase in adenylyl cyclase pathway. Beta 1 receptor, they are present post-synaptically effector cell, heart, juxtaglomerular cells and kidney. Whereas beta 2, they act on bronchi, vessels, GIT, and liver. This we have already talked about. The agonistic action of dopamine varies like this, and then terbutaline varies like this. Isoprenaline will have more effect on beta 1 in comparison to adrenaline, and adrenaline has same as in comparison to norepinephrine. This is how you will be reading out this particular table, this particular column, with this particular row. Antagonist for beta 1 is atenolol. Antagonist for beta 2 is alpha methyl propranolol. Coming on to the classification, there are many ways of classifying adrenergic agonist. You have classification based on the therapeutic uses, okay, or you have the classification based on this type. Adrenergic agonist can be divided into direct acting and indirect acting and mixed acting. So 3 classes. Direct acting is again classified to selective and non-selective. So alpha 1 selective we have phenylephrine, alpha 2 clonidine, beta 1 dobutamine, beta 2 terbutaline. Non-selective we have alpha 1, alpha 2 oxymetazoline, beta 1, beta 2 isoproterenol, alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, beta 2 epinephrine, and alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1 norepinephrine. So that means this drug act on this receptor, this drug act on predominantly on these receptors. Now mixed acting ephedrine is there. That means it will have direct action also and indirect action also. Indirect action, what do you mean by indirect action? Indirect action, that means it will cause the release. It will not directly bind on the receptor, adrenergic receptor. Rather, it will give the action by increasing the release of the neurotransmitter so that they can go and occupy, they can go and bind with the adrenergic receptor, leading to which gives the effect. So it can be releasing agent, it can be uptake inhibitor, and it can be MAO or COMT inhibitor. the drugs which releases neurotransmitter are releasing agents like amphetamine, tyramine. The drugs which inhibit the uptake in the neuron, then that is known as uptake inhibitor, that is cocaine, so that there will be more availability at the synapse. And a MAO and COMT inhibitor, that means that these are the enzymes which are responsible for metabolism of neurotransmitter. So if that is inhibitor, more presence of energetic neurotransmitter will be there at the synapse. Coming on to the effect of epinephrine. See, the main drug over here is epinephrine and alpha blocker. Okay, so I'll be discussing epinephrine. Effect of epinephrine on blood pressure. It's a most potent vasopressor agent. It's a most potent vasopressor agent. That means it will cause increased pressure response due to contraction of blood vessels. So vasopressor response. It will cause more increase in systolic blood pressure than in comparison to the diastolic blood pressure. Okay. As the response wanes, the mean pressure may fall below normal before returning to control level. This is biphasic response. You will see, you will give epinephrine, you will see there is increase in blood pressure, and at decreased concentration, it will go to the base level, and then it will come to the normal base level. So this is biphasic response. I have explained this earlier only. So how it causes the increase in blood pressure? See, direct myocardial stimulation is there, which causes increased strength of ventricular contraction. That is positive inotropic action. So it has positive inotropic, positive dromotropic, positive chronotropic effect. So increased contraction because of direct myocardial stimulation will lead to increase the force of contraction. Increase in heart rate it will cause because of direct M1 beta 1 receptor, and then vasoconstriction in many vascular beds like skin, mucosa, and kidney will be there, where there will be marked constriction of the vein because of epinephrine. Pulse rate. The pulse rate at first is accelerated, it is increased, and then it is slowed markedly at the height of rise of blood pressure. This is because of compensatory vagal discharge. Compensatory vagal discharge. You will see the graph of yesterday only I showed the graph. See, there will be increase in the blood pressure due to epinephrine. If you see the heart rate, there will be increase in the increase in the heart rate, and then where there is peak, there will be decrease in the blood pressure, decrease in the heart rate because of the compensatory vagal discharge. Okay, the depressor effect of a small dose 0.1 microgram per kg and the biphasic response to larger dose are due to greater sensitivity to epinephrine of vasodilator beta 2 receptor than of constrictor constrictor alpha receptor. See, the depression effect you will see, that means decrease in the blood pressure you will see at the lower dose. I'll show you again. See, this is the graph taken from Goodman and Gilman. In yesterday's class also I showed you this figure. See, subcutaneous, if the dose is given from 0.5 to 1.5 milligram, this is intravenously given at the rate of 10 to 30 microgram per minute. Then what happens? Moderate increase in systolic blood pressure. Just focus on this epinephrine. Moderate increase in systolic blood pressure causes cardiac contractility force and increase in cardiac contractility force and increase in cardiac output. You see here. Okay. Peripheral resistance is decreased because of beta 2 receptor stimulation in the skeletal muscle, leading to decrease in the diastolic blood pressure. So if you'll find out the mean blood pressure, there will be not marked increase in mean blood pressure, but there will be little increase in the blood pressure. Okay. No significant increase in blood pressure, and there is no compensatory baroreceptor reflex. There is no compensatory baroreceptor reflex here, and then appear this pulse rate is because of the direct action on beta 1 receptor. Vascular effect. Injected epinephrine decreases cutaneous blood flow. Injected epinephrine decreases cutaneous blood flow because of the constriction. Then blood flow to the skeletal muscle is increased. Blood flow to the skeletal muscle is increased. How? Because there is beta 2 mediated vasodilation leading to increased blood flow to the muscles. Vasomotor reversal and re-reversal phenomena can be seen in presence of alpha blocker and beta blocker respectively. Reversal I have already explained. Re-reversal I will tell you at the end. Epinephrine on beta 1 receptor in juxtaglomerular apparatus causes increase in renin secretion. So epinephrine, as we know, that act on all the adrenergic receptor. So when epinephrine act on beta 1 receptor of JG cell of the kidney, it will cause increased release of renin. Now, when there is increased release of renin, then further the renin pathway will be stimulated, leading to formation of more of angiotensin 2, formation of angiotensinogen, then angiotensin 1, angiotensin 2, which causes increased blood pressure. That is another story. Now, cardiac effect. Epinephrine is a powerful cardiac stimulant. We have already discussed this thing, but then it is a powerful cardiac stimulant. Heart rate is increased, that is positive chronotropic. Cardiac systole is shorter and more powerful. Increased cardiac output is there, and then the work of the heart and its oxygen consumption are markedly increased. When the cardiac output or when the heart rate is increased, that means your heart is working more than the normal. And when it is working more, it needs more of the oxygen. So cardiac oxygen consumption is increased. And when it is working more, it is utilizing more of oxygen, then the cardiac efficiency will go down. The more of oxygen will be consumed and less of work will be done. So that is decreased cardiac efficiency. Next, coming to direct response to epinephrine include increased contractile force that we have already discussed. Contractility is increased, myocardial contractility is increased, increased cardiac output, accelerated rate of rise of isometric tension, enhanced rate of relaxation, decreased time of peak tension, increased excitability, acceleration of rate of spontaneous beating, and induction of automaticity in a specialized region of the heart will be there. So these all four direct effect of epinephrine are there on cardiovascular system. So we have already seen this epinephrine increase in systolic, decrease in diastolic, mean blood pressure not much decreased, not much increased. The peripheral resistance is decreased because of beta 2 mediated vasodilatation, and then pulse rate is increased here, pulse rate is increased here. Okay, here here norepinephrine, you'll see the systolic is increased, diastolic increase, peripheral resistance is also increased because beta 2 mediated vasodilatation is not there, and in comparison to in connection with the increase in blood pressure, reflex decrease in the pulse rate we'll see here, norepinephrine. This already I have discussed yesterday also. So coming to alpha blocker. Alpha blocker is the drug without the presence of which we cannot show the reversal. So alpha blocker, can be of non-equilibrium type and an equilibrium type. Non-equilibrium type haloalkylamine, that is phenoxybenzamine is example. Then equilibrium non-selective and selective, and non-selective ergotamine, ergotoxin, hydrogenated ergotalcolate, dihydroergotamine and dihydroergotoxin, then imidazoline, tolazoline, phentolamine, miscellaneous chlorpromazine, histamine and serotonin, selective alpha-1 blocker, that is prazosin, terazosin, doxazosine and tamsulosin, selective alpha-2 is yohimbine. So see, the alpha blocker classification is damn important for examination point of view. Then the general effect of alpha blockers, alpha blocker cardiovascular pharmacology, we'll see. Reduction in blood pressure. This is happens because of the blockade of alpha 1 or alpha 2 receptor. Because alpha 1 and alpha 2 receptor stimulation will cause vasoconstriction. So when you block it, what will be there? There will be pooling of the blood. There will be no vasoconstriction. So that means it is in dilated form. The blood will be more there in the capacitance vessel. And thus, when the blood is more in capacitance vessel, the return to the venous venous return will be lesser, and then the cardiac output will be lesser. It will cause fall in mean blood pressure. It will cause in fall in mean blood pressure. What is postural reflex and how it is interfered? Postural reflex, dizziness, but the person may see the syncope on a standing position, the person may feel, and that is known as postural reflex. That depends upon the posture. What is the reason? Normally, 700 ml of blood is pooled to leg. Okay. When a person stands up, and therefore syncope could occur, but it do not occur in usual case normal person because there is a baroreceptor reflex in play, which will cause stimulation of vasomotor center. Vasomotor center, as it senses, baroreceptor senses that there would be a decrease in the blood pressure as the person is in standing position, it stimulates the vasomotor center, and then sympathetic system is activated, causing contraction through alpha 1 receptor. So the person do not feel syncope. But when the alpha is blocked, this baroreceptor reflex cannot, baroreceptor reflex will stimulate vasomotor center, but vasomotor center cannot, vasomotor center will stimulate the sympathetic system, but then as alpha is blocked, the adrenaline cannot go and bind there, and then the postural hypotension or postural reflex will be seen. Okay. This is known as postural hypotension. Vasopressor effect of adrenaline is not found, and that is why this is known as vasomotor reversal. Reflex tachycardia due to fall in BP. BP and increased noradrenaline release due to presynaptic alpha 2 receptor. Now BP is decreased here, and because of reflex action, there will be increase in the heart rate. Also, there would be increase. There will be increase in norepinephrine release due to presynaptic alpha 2 blockade. Now we have discussed that alpha 2 receptor is there presynaptically. Now when you are giving alpha block or non-selective, alpha 2 is also blocked, because of which more of norepinephrine release will be there, causing tachycardia. Coming on to beta adrenergic blocker, cardioselective. So this is the classification of beta blocker. There are many ways of classifying beta blocker. It differs from book to book. You may write any of the classification in which you are comfortable with. So cardioselective beta blocker, we have metoprolol, atenolol, S-butalol, bisoprolol, esmolol, betaxolol, celiprolol, and nebivolol. There are many mnemonics also. You can make your own mnemonic also to remember this thing. Non-selective, that means it will act on beta 1 receptor also and beta 2 receptor also. It will block. Okay. It can be further divided without intrinsic sympathomimetic activity. That means these are the blockers which have a little of sympathomimetic activity, like sotalol, propranolol, and timolol, and it has the membrane stabilizing action also. It has lesser of a little of anesthetic type of action. With intrinsic sympathomimetic action like pindolol and oxaprenolol. Without, sorry, this one is with and this is without. They do not have intrinsic sympathomimetic activity, but this has. Then there are group where the drugs have additional alpha blocking activity. So levodopa and carbidopa, this block the beta 1 and beta 2 receptor. Additionally, it will block the alpha receptor also. Action of propranolol. Decrease in heart rate, decrease in blood pressure, decrease in cardiac output, and decrease in force of contraction. So it will cause negative chronotropic, negative inotropic, and negative bromotropic also. It prolongs the systole. Synergy of contraction is disturbed. It is not prominent in normal person, but in presence of sympathetic overactivity. So when there is sympathetic overactivity and then you take propranolol, there will be some effect. But if a normal person takes propranolol, there won't be a decrease in the blood pressure. Decreased ventricular size in the normal subject, dilatation in low cardiac reserve patient. For this, you will see the effect. Cardiac work and oxygen consumption is reduced. We have already discussed this. And total coronary flow is reduced at subepicardial region, but not subendocardial region. So this is the this property may be useful in the angina. It delayed AV conduction, so negative bromotropic effect at high dose, membrane stabilizing and direct depressant action. High dose. Effect of propranolol on blood pressure. This is no direct action on blood pressure. Okay. See, this is very interesting. In fact, it blocks vasodilatation, fall in BP by isoprenaline, and enhances a rise in BP by adrenaline, and this is known as a reversal. Again, I will discuss it later on. Here, the only difference with the reversal is that there you use alpha blocker, here you use beta blocker, and when the beta is blocked, you can see only the action of alpha. But beneficial in hypertensive on prolonged administration. On prolonged administration, if you give, this is beneficial for BP reduction. Normally, propranolol would block catecholamine-induced vasodilatation, okay, and causes an increase in total peripheral resistance and decrease in the cardiac output. But a negligible change in BP will occur. But when person is on chronic administration, it will lead to resistance vessel to adapt to chronically low cardiac output and TPR falls. Or it may act through decreased renin release as the adrenergic system is blocked. The beta-1 stimulation will not be there, decreased renin release will be there, central reduction of sympathetic outflow will be there, and blockade of norepinephrine release and causes blockade of beta receptor. Now coming on to the record protocol, how you are going to write in the record. First, you need to write aim. The aim would be to study vasomotor reversal of day. The requirement, the software, the animal simulator software. The animal used is dog. The drug is epinephrine. Drugs are epinephrine, norepinephrine, alpha blocker. Do not write shortcut. Do not write short form or abbreviations. Do write full epinephrine or adrenaline or norepinephrine, noradrenaline, and alpha blocker, phenoxybenzamine. Objective: to study the effect of epinephrine on dog's blood pressure, that is biphasic response, and then to study the effect of epinephrine on dog's blood pressure in presence of alpha blocker. What would be the principle? Epinephrine has biphasic response on BP due to the action on alpha and beta receptor. Blockage by alpha receptor produce only action due to beta receptor on administration of epinephrine. Procedure, what you will be writing? The present experiment was carried out in animal software experiment, animal simulator software, and then the following steps were performed. Opening of the software, particular experiment was chosen. For the first set of experiment, epinephrine was administered and BP was recorded. For the second set, effect of epinephrine on BP was recorded in presence of alpha blocker. So you need to give first alpha blocker and then epinephrine you give. And then readings were marked in the observation table. Discussion is the most important part, and see, I have already discussed. I cannot give everything ready-made to you. You have to work by yourself also. I have discussed many things over here. So refer the book, refer the video. It's very easier for you because it's being uploaded in YouTube. You can see again and again. And then here discussion, what you need to write, that I have told, I have written here. So based on this, you can refer book and then write your own discussion. Explain the pharmacological action of epinephrine on blood vessel and heart. Explain the action of alpha blocker. Then explain how action of epinephrine varies in presence of alpha blocker. You need to explain. Epinephrine, what all receptor it acts on? What is the pharmacological action of epinephrine on cardiovascular system, blood vessels and heart? And then alpha blocker kya hai? What are the non-selective alpha blockers? and then what it does, then what happens when only epinephrine, what action epinephrine produces on alpha receptor, what happens on blockade, and then how the effect of epinephrine differs when you give alpha blocker first and then epinephrine later on. Conclusion, what you'll be writing, you conclude by saying somewhat like this: the biphasic response of epinephrine is not seen after the administration of alpha blocker, because you will see only one phase, that is decrease in the blood pressure. Only decrease in the blood pressure is seen due to epinephrine in presence of alpha blocker. So this is the way you have to conclude. If the drug name is not given in the examination, you need to identify based on the reading. That means you you will mark the reading, that is increase in blood pressure. You mark it in the table, decrease in blood pressure, mark it in the table, and based on all this table, you will see that the drug A may be epinephrine, drug B may be alpha blocker, drugs A again may be adrenaline. So again, this is the graph, the same graph. I told you once again, I will show you. You give adrenaline here, you will see increase in blood pressure due to alpha 1, beta 1, and then at lower doses, you will see the decrease in blood pressure, that is due because of beta 2 receptor vasodilation. Then you give alpha blocker here, and then again you give adrenaline here, you will see there is no increase in blood pressure, no increase in blood pressure. On decrease in blood pressure, you will see because alpha is already blocked. So beta 2 mediated vasodilation only you can see, leading to decrease in blood pressure. So you have to draw like this. We have already seen this. This is the observation table which you will be making. Epinephrine, mean blood pressure, epinephrine, sorry, there are two epinephrine, remove one epinephrine. So epinephrine, heart rate, you need not do it. So remove this heart rate, don't make heart rate table, only blood pressure. So there will be three row here, epinephrine, alpha blocker, epinephrine. Remove this and remove this one, and also remove this one. Heart rate thing will not be there. So epinephrine, mean blood pressure, alpha blocker, and then epinephrine, and then basal BP. This is the re-reversal. This is the re-reversal. The first which we discussed is vasomotor reversal of Dale. Now this is re-reversal. What is the difference? You see the normal tracing, and then you give epinephrine here. You give epinephrine here. Thus, the first set is the same. You will get increase in blood pressure due to alpha 1, beta 1, and then there is decrease in the blood pressure at lower concentration because of vasodilation, beta 2 mediated, and then you get the normal curve. Then here you give beta blocker. What we do in the reversal, we give alpha blocker. Here we give beta blocker, and then you take a tracing and then put alpha blocker. So beta is not yet metabolized. Beta is still there. It has blocked the beta receptor. That means this is blocked. You will not get this response. What is the response you will get? Only this response. Only increase in this response, and that is alpha 1 mediated response. Alpha 1 mediated response. Beta 2 you will not see. So here again this is wrong. Here it will not be beta 2. Here it will be only alpha 1 receptor. So alpha 1 mediator action you can see here, and then you will get the normal tracing again. So this was all about today's class. I'll just make this. I'll just correct it. Okay, this is alpha 1. Okay, this alpha 1 mediator action only you will see. Alpha 1 action. So this is all about the reversal and re-reversal of vasomotor. Okay. So this you need to write, draw, and keep your record ready. Once you come to attend the classes, when the college opens, you need to submit it. We will correct and give it back to your copies. Thank you so much.